Rashtriya Swamsevak Sangh Chief Mohan Bhagwat, while addressing the centenary celebrations of the Manubhav Ashram in Amravati, Maharashtra on Sunday, spoke out on a host of issues, especially pertaining to persecution and atrocities committed in the name of Dharma. The RSS chief said that such acts are rooted in misunderstanding and lack of true comprehension of the word Dharma. He explained that when Dharma is not properly understood, it leads to adharma, fueling persecution and violence worldwide. He emphasized that Dharma is eternal and governs the world's workings. He asserted that Dharma has always existed and everything works according to it, and that is why the religion is called Sanatan.
यज्ञम सुखम आराध्य जो अडाणी आहे त्याला लगेच समजावता येतो. सुखतरम आराध्यते विशेषज्ञ त्याच्यापेक्षाही लवकर जो जाणतो समजतो. पण ज्ञान लव दुर्विदग्ध थोड्याशा ज्ञानाने खूप फुगलेला ब्रह्मापि नरम न रंजयती त्या माणसाला ब्रह्मदेव सुद्धा समजवू शकत नाही. ते फार जिकिरीचं काम आहे आणि ते समजवायला जावं तर समाज म्हणतो हा चुकीचा आहे, याला हकला, याला मारा, याला ठोका. हे समाजाचं सहन करून समजावं लागतं. धर्म हा समजावा लागतो. तो नीट नाही समजला तर त्या धर्माच्या अर्धवट ज्ञानाने अधर्म होतो. जगामध्ये धर्माच्या नावाखाली जितके अत्याचार झाले आहेत ते या चुकीच्या समजुतीमुळे झाले आहेत. आणि म्हणून तो धर्म समजवायचं काम करणारे संप्रदाय असावे लागतात. नुसते पंथ असून चालत नाही. बाबांनी गोष्ट केली, विवेक पाहिजे. ज्या पंथाला विवेक प्राप्त होतो त्याला आपण संप्रदाय म्हणतो. सम्यक प्रदाय जो देतो, सम्यक रीतीने देतो.
And recently, RSS Chief Mohan Bhagwat also raised concerns about the increasing number of temple-mosque disputes propping up across India. He criticized people who, after the construction of Ram Mandir in Ayodhya, are now trying to create new controversies in an attempt to portray themselves as leaders of Hindu. Now, this has led to sharp reactions from spiritual leaders. Reacting to Bhagwat's statement, Jagat Guru Ram Bhadracharya said that I completely disagree with the speech of Mohan Bhagwat. I do not agree with him at all. Mohan Bhagwat is not our disciplinarian. We are his disciplinarian. Now also Swami Avimukteshwaranand Shankacharya Jyotirmat Peeth also criticized RSS Chief Mohan Bhagwat for his politically convenient position on restoring temples. He said, and I quote, when he wanted power, he went around speaking about temples. Now that he has power, he is advising not to look out for temples. And to put these statements into context, joining us on the show is my colleague Brijesh Pandey, live from Newsroom. Also with us is Arun Anand. He's an author and senior journalist. Arun, I want to come to you first. What is the underlying message that Mohan Bhagwat really has for listeners here?
Underlying messages, you have to understand one fundamental thing about RSS. The RSS chief or the RSS does not set an agenda and try to mobilize the society on that. Rather, it's the other way around. Whatever is the mood of the society, the RSS chief generally, what he is saying is it's reflecting the mood of the society, the feedback which RSS has got from the ground. That when he said that don't try to find a shivling in every mosque. So he's just reflecting the mood of the society. And I'll give you a quick example. The RSS had passed its resolution on Kashi Vishwanath in 1959, but it took up the Ram Janmabhoomi movement in 1980s because that was the mood of the society. That was a general consensus in the society. So if you look at it from this perspective, it is not the RSS viewpoint or it is not Mohan Bhagwat's viewpoint. It is the viewpoint of the society which they are trying to reflect, and then people can agree to disagree. Other Hindu saints or ascetics, and RSS has never claimed that it has got the monopoly of Hindutva or Hinduness, and neither it is trying to sermonize. What Mohan Bhagwat is saying is just reflecting the mood of the society.
All right, let me also Go to my colleague Brijesh, who's standing by. Brijesh, while what Mohan Bhagwat is saying is reflecting the mood of the society, the ultra-orthodox Hindus and Hindu saints are not very happy.
Well, I think, it may be reflecting mood of some, but if you look at the dominant position, if you remember last year when Mohan Bhagwat made that statement that we should not look for a masjid and for mandir under every masjid, the kind of furor which followed his statement on social media platforms, and there was a deluge of reactions which came to it, which was an absolute contrariance to what he was propagating. So it was very clear that the mood of the society is also pretty much hardened, and they are not very kind to the fact that that now Mohan Bhagwat is taking a middle path, or I would say a slightly naram path, moderate view of Hinduism. When he said that day before, a couple of days before, when he made that statement that he also spoke about the persecution of minorities in Bangladesh, how Western world looks at India with a jaundiced eye and gloss over failures in its own backyard. When he went and spoke about mandir and masjid issue, it was met with an equal blowback. So I think there's a very clearly there's a schism. Nobody is saying that RSS reflects or RSS claims to be the fountainhead of everything that is Hindutva, but the fact of the matter is that the dominant narrative, which is right now, as we see, we saw the statement of Ram Bhadracharya, we saw the statement of Swami Abhimukteshwara Anand. It was very clear that they are not very pleased with the way these kind of statements have come. And I think, very rarely you see RSS chief's authority being challenged so openly and in such a brazen way.
All right. Arun, does it look like to you that right now, come to think of it, RSS chief is trying to differentiate really between, liberal Hindus as they exist on ground versus the ultra right-wing Hindus, and perhaps the two are quite not in agreement with each other?
First, let me tell you, RSS has unofficially a membership of, in their daily functioning, they touch around, 5 crore people. That is an unofficial estimate, internal estimate of the RSS. So that way it becomes the biggest voluntary organization in the world. Now, what Brajeshji was saying, of course, there has been a deluge of reactions on social media, but I think that's very deceptive. The social media actually does not reflect the mood of the complete mood of the society. People on social media, there are a lot of people on social media, they're punching much above their weight. And to give you an example, if you look at the elections over the last few years, all those social media celebrities, even in the Maharashtra elections recently, there's somebody in Bombay who had 1 million followers and who could not get even 200 votes. So the popular support, they do not exactly, they do reflect a certain section of the society, but they are punching much above their weight. So I would take it as a barometer of Bhagwat's criticism. Even then, apart from that, see, there has always been a difference of opinion within Hinduism, right, since the Arya Samaj movement, if you look at it. And even during the Ram Janmabhoomi movement, there were a lot of saints and ascetics who did not agree with the way Vishindu Parishad, an RSS-inspired organization, was running this movement. So these differences of opinion will always remain. And I don't think there is, the RSS has a problem with this thing. And it's not about the RSS chief does not have any, RSS chief doesn't look at it like, that he is speaking from a position of authority and then people should follow it. I'll just end my comment with another fundamental thing about the RSS, which most of the people do not understand. See, it is not the RSS chief who has an authority and who drives the Swamsevaks to do something. It is the other way around. The RSS chief does what the RSS volunteers want him to do. So these are some of the fundamental things. If you look at it, RSS from the RSS perspective and not from a typical political organized perspective, so then things will become much clearer.
All right, but Arun, before I let you go, a quick reaction on the kind of trolling that we have seen, in the past 24 hours. Who are these self-professed supporters of Hinduism, or Hindutva rather, if I may call it, who are really trolling Mohan Bhagwat right now?
There is a section who wants basically, I would say they are the fringe elements. They want a more radical approach towards Hinduism. And the RSS viewpoint is that if we take a radical approach towards all these issues, if we take an ultra aggressive approach, we need to be assertive. But there is a fine difference between being assertive and being aggressive. So the RSS is not concerned about these. So the RSS has always been a butt of criticism. And it has always been targeted, ever since its inception. So the RSS doesn't get affected by it. It continues to does it, work. and it is least bothered about the criticism, because it has learned to live with criticism. In fact, whenever RSS is criticized, thrice it has been banned, RSS has always come out much stronger, and its organization has spread much faster.
All right, Arun Anand, thank you very much for taking time out for joining us on the
Thank
show.
you.
Brijesh continues to be with us. Brijesh, I think you heard what Arun had to say. It's a part and parcel of criticism that perhaps RSS has endured in the past. It is trying to really reflect the mood of the nation, and I think it's fair enough to say that social media is not quite entirely representative of what an entire community is feeling, given that Sanatan Dharma works on a spectrum and diversity of viewpoints.
Well, I would not exactly agree with Arun Anand there, and I would say that, I agree that, in social media there are many who punch above their weight, and in social media you cannot take the entirety of it, but the fact is that social media did play an important part in making sure that there was a deluge of favor in the favor of Bharatiya Janata Party, in form of support for Prime Minister Narendra Modi. So completely dismissing social media is also not there. It's, it is one of the key strategy as far as any political party or any organization is concerned. I completely understand that that the functioning of RSS is slightly different to what is being propagated from many forms and fronts. But is it really reflective, or the statement of RSS Chief Mohan Bhagwat really reflective of the mood of the people on the ground? I don't think so. Because if you look at the kind of the cases being filed, the kind of reaction which is being heard in state after state, the mood on the ground is completely opposite, or if I won't say completely opposite, is far more opposite, diametrically opposite than what RSS chief is saying. So it's not as easy as it is being made out to be. And the fact is that I personally have never heard any kind of any RSS Sarsanga Chalak to be subjected to this kind of scrutiny. And Swami Vimukteshwaranand or Ram Bhadracharya, they have a huge following on their own. We can't dismiss them just because the ascetics having a difference of opinion. It also, their viewpoint also reflects what their followers who are in lakhs reflect or think of this particular statement by RSS chief.